All right. Well, welcome everyone to the November office meeting. And thanks for bearing with us as we usually do it on the second Thursday of the month. But since I have a wedding to go to tomorrow, we're doing it today. So I appreciate you guys being here and switching up the schedule. Ooh. Okay, so first I wanted to give a shout out to our November birthdays before we get started. We got lots of November birthdays. Austin and Corey and Destiny, who just joined us, and Elizabeth and Kim and Marlene and Marita and Monica and Robin Drew and Scott Knight. So happy birthday. Hope you guys have a great birthday month. First off, we just found out that Suite Assist is making some changes and they're doing an update with a new platform that we're going to be moving to. Don't stress, it's not like changing the way things look for you. It's making things better and allowing us more options. And Mara's going to talk more about that.
Yeah, so I had a Zoom meeting this morning with the owner and the development team. So we've signed up to beta test and I am super excited. The features they've added are drip campaigns and email and video functions for the agents. And the video functionality is similar and better than BombBomb. So if you use that, they're super excited. So the goal is that you get your database into Suite Assist, which I immediately brought up. Is this secure? Are you going to be selling the data and only the agents can see their contact info? And it was like, yes, secure. We're not selling. And the each agent can't see someone's not on mute. Other agents can't see all the content, so it's private and secure. So the goal is that you're uploading your database and then able to send out marketing, and they're going to update the marketing to what's going on with the market news, real estate news. So and then they've also made it so that you can add vendors on your site for your database to see, and you can turn that on or off. The brokerage will be able to do it. We have asked them about getting Suite Assist to connect with Transaction Desk so that we don't have to log into Transaction Desk. So I know they are working on that. It might be released in some stages, but they do know that's what we've asked for. The training libraries and training systems, they've updated and made better. And they're actually talking with Jess at the Listings Lab to get her coaching in there too. So I'm really excited because it's just going to be easier to use. We can change the colors if we want. So it's, the goal is that if you guys are marketing and talking to your database, that you'll get more business from it, right? And then they're going to have weekly trainings and national trainings offered to all the agents, which is super cool. I'm trying to think of all the other features they went through. It's all geared for the agents, which is awesome. We did also ask for drip campaigns for when an agent's in transaction, that you can update your clients or the other agent throughout the process. So there was a couple things that we've thrown into them to say, hey, as you're making these updates, can you add these features? So do you guys have any questions?
I don't yet, but I'm sure that I will once we see it.
Yeah, it's so you'll probably to see those changes maybe within the next week. I mean, especially when you brand new agent, you're always needing training. When depending on what your past education has been, I think any of us can get new training, and it's always valuable. So I love to hear what other agents are doing in other areas, other states. So, you know, it's nice.
Mar, I'm not sure what's going on. You're cutting out a little bit, so I don't know if I missed this, but I was just, for any transactions that are currently in there, is anything going to change with them?
No, no,
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
no. Yeah, you guys should be good. Yeah, it's just the added features,
Okay.
the additional features for you guys. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you so much.
So it should be all beneficial for the agents. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
Yes,
we can
that's
hear
better
you.
for me.
Yeah, so it won't change anything or the way you do it. It's just adding more features for you guys. And I actually did just ask them and they are working on it. So, you know, we've always thought it was kind of weird that they didn't have like listing and then you penned it and then the cell docs drop in like it used to with Sky Slope, like it's all there in one list, even if it's not, you know, a listing. And they are actually working on that. So it may be changing, like they're trying to implement that. I don't know when that'll change, but that's like a good thing too, because then the listing docs won't be there in your list of cell docs when you have just the cell.
Yeah,
So,
that's awesome. I know several people, including myself, have asked for a way to filter those out. So that's cool.
yeah. So they're working on that too. That was like kind of our big thing from the get-go, actually, when we signed up with them. I'm like, that's just weird. Why does it have to be that way? But they're working on it. So it looks like they may be changing that up soon too, which will just make things a little more streamlined and easier and not confuse people. I mean, once you've been doing it, you guys just know, but it is a little confusing for new agents when they come on. So I'm happy about that change to come as well. So wanted to talk to you guys again about our bigger 2024 event. Mara did send out an RSVP, so you can RSVP. It's going to be Friday, November 17th from 9 to 12. I just realized I somehow have an exclamation point instead of a 1 in my time on there. So make sure you RSVP. There will be lunch provided. I think we're looking at Blue 32 providing the lunches. So we do need to know if you guys are going to be there or not, so we can kind of plan for the menu and everything with Blue 32. If you can't make it in person, you can still join via Zoom. But I highly recommend being there in person. When we did this last year, we didn't watch it live in person, but we were there in person, and it was just kind of, it just makes it so much better, like being there with everyone and the energy in the room. And so this year it's going to be even better because we're going to be watching the event live and able to ask them questions and that. So, I mean, if you can be there in person, I think you will get more out of it. If you can make the time to go in person, you'll get a lot out of it either way, but if you can be there in person, do so.
Yeah.
Mara, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, the RSVP I also put in the private Facebook group for new agents that are hiring on. We do need to know head count, and there's 2 different tickets, in person or on Zoom, because I'll have a Zoom link to send out, and then there will be a workbook again. If you go into Suite Assist, there's Bigger 2023, and that's been uploaded into Suite Assist, and the workbook is attached as PDF. So if you're curious, some of these speakers we've heard from, some are new. So this is good content. You guys have heard Ryan speak. Amy's the owner of this event, and she spoke at the last year's. So yeah, it's good. It's motivating business, body, and health. So mind.
And if I heard you right, they need to RSVP even if they're joining via Zoom.
Correct, because I need to know who to send the Zoom link to, and then also obviously the lunch orders. So, you know, we pay for this, and they're just great. It's great content, should motivate you for next year. So, yeah, I'm excited.
I'm actually on the Facebook page, and I see the video of the event, but it shows that there's a link but it's not a clickable link to RSVP.
Okay, I'll go back in and play with it again.
Okay. Thank you.
I think Mara sent it out and that link, oops, hold on. That link wasn't, but then she sent a different one and that one is, I think. I think there was an error in the first email she sent out.
Okay, I don't, in the Facebook group, at least it's like a little video recap of
Yeah.
it. It has a link. It says RSVP here, but it doesn't click. It's not clickable. And I don't know, maybe I missed seeing the
Weird.
email. I'm gonna go back through my emails, but in
Yeah,
the,
and I can re-email it too, and I'll check out the group later today.
thank you.
Perfect. Okay, I just want to give you guys an update on the lawsuit against the National Association of Realtors. They finally went to court on that. They were in court for 11 days and they were found liable. So they did not win. So, you know, from their standpoint, they're saying that this matter is far from final. They plan to appeal. They think that they will ultimately prevail. So they're not worried about it. That's kind of what's going on. So what that kind of means for you guys right now, like they're kind of saying due to the nature of appeals, it could go on for years. So it could be several more years before we see any kind of changes or anything because of the case. But what they are saying, I mean, at this time, they're telling us we don't have to do anything different. We don't have to change what we're doing, or it's not changing the way commissions are paid at this point. However, they are emphasizing that you guys definitely make sure you are explaining commissions and the fact that they're negotiable and how you get paid, and you know, to your buyers and your sellers. Sellers need to understand that if they're signing their listing agreement, agreeing to 6% commission, and that if you plan to pay 3% as a co-broke, how that's getting distributed. You just need to be very transparent that it's all negotiable, how you're getting paid, how it's being paid. You need to be having those conversations with your buyers. You know, you need to really explain that to them. They're really pushing for the buyer broker agreement as well. And so some of the things, like they say nothing's changing, we don't have to do anything different, but I've noticed two things. We already have an interim CEO at the National Association of Realtors. So after this came out, the CEO stepped down. So that's first thing, that it's never a good sign when things are going bad when the CEO steps down. So they think they're going to prevail, but I don't really know at this time. None of us do exactly what that's going to mean for the way we do business. And that's why you need to start really explaining commissions to your buyer and your seller and being transparent. And the other thing that just came out today, I think it's my next slide. Yeah, so this just literally came out today. Starting today, the cooperative commission field in MLS, you can put a value of 0. Before, you had to have at least $1 in there, and it was required to add a listing to MLS. But now they've updated it to change that 0 can be in there. So you guys need to pay attention, because it's possible somebody could post their listing in MLS and not be offering a co-broke to you. So if you sold that property, you would not get paid. And Armless is going to be doing an upcoming blog series on the buyer representation agreements. So they're really pushing for, you know, if you're representing your buyer, to be using their buyer broker agreements, talking to your buyer about how you get paid. It's going to be really interesting to see how this plays out, because, you know, most buyers can barely come up with down payment and closing costs, much less pay a commission, you know, to the buyer agent. And now it's going to be optional, which I see why they're doing it, because commissions are negotiable. So you can't be forced to pay a buyer broker commission. But just be aware when you're showing properties that it could very well be that they're not paying. So you would show that house for nothing, or you have to get your buyer to sign a buyer broker agreement. So you have an agreement for that buyer to pay you. So this kind
Hey,
of,
Lisa.
yeah. You're,
know if they're gonna be updating the buyer broker form then? Oh, sorry, I'm dating the buyer broker agreement.
they have not. There's been nothing about any changes to that buyer broker agreement. So, as far as that goes, what you would be writing in compensation if you want to use it, like if you say whatever's in MLS, like some people will do, well, if it's 0, you're not getting paid. So you would have to spell it out, like whatever that is that you negotiate with your buyer. It could say you're either going to be paid per MLS agreement, or if compensation to buyer agent is 0, like whatever it is you agree to with your buyer, are they going to pay you 5,000, 3,000 at close? If there's no MLS, so you would have to spell that out. If there's no co-broke that your buyer is going to pay you, and you would have to negotiate that with your buyer to make sure you're going to get paid something. Does that make sense? I'm assuming so.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What's that?
Sorry, I just said yes. I couldn't stand the uncomfortable silence.
Thanks, Sherry. But there was some forms that were just released November. So they made some changes to the residential lease agreement and the move in, move out checklist. I mean, we don't do property management, but we do rentals for people. So this was kind of important. So they were actually pretty minor. The one thing they did on the rental lease agreement on the first page is on line 18, they removed the move in, move out checklist as addenda incorporated. And it kind of makes sense. The reason they did this is for us agents who do not do property management, but help, tenants find a home to lease, or help, landlords find a tenant. And because that move in, move out checklist is something that is done between the landlord and the tenant at move in, it really has nothing to do with us as agents if we're not property managers. So they've taken it out of the lease agreement because it really did cross a line into property management. So now it's no longer part of the lease or something that we need to collect or worry about as part of the lease agreement, because it's really more of a property management thing. So they just removed it to make the line much clearer. And then due to that change, what they did they change the move in, move out checklist is they just changed that for top line there that it's not part of the lease agreement. It says on the first line that's part of the lease agreement. They took that out so that it's not there. And interestingly enough, for whatever reason, they changed master bedroom to primary bedroom on the list. That was the only 2 changes. So not a big deal, nothing that really affects us. It just kind of makes the line clear between property management and just helping a tenant find a place to lease, and or landlord a tenant to lease their property. Okay, hopefully this is gonna play, that I embedded it correctly. This was really interesting to me. So I'm just going to go and play the quick video, and then I'll kind of expand on it about CC&Rs and HOAs. But now, see, it's not going to play. Okay, well, I don't know what I did, but I obviously embedded it wrong, because when I did it did play back for me when I made it. So I'm not sure why it won't play now or what I might have done wrong. So, but I can easily explain this. So I'm not sure if you guys realize that sometimes properties can have CC&Rs, but no HOA. I don't know if you've ever seen this. So I have seen this. So I've had a property that I sold and my clients didn't want an HOA. So there was, says in the MLS, no HOA. There's no HOA addendum. We get that preliminary title report. And interestingly enough, there are recorded CC&Rs on that property. And this is also why we tell you guys to review that title report. I know that they are boring, and most of the time there's like nothing on there that's earth shattering or that you even need to know, but occasionally you will find some weird stuff on there. And this would be one of those. If CC&Rs have been recorded against the property, but you were told there's no HOA, you're thinking, okay, what does that mean? Well, what that means is there might not be an HOA, But if there are CC&Rs recorded on that property, so there's rules and regulations, any neighbor can enforce those. So if your buyer's looking to not have an HOA and they think, oh, I can get this property and I can do whatever I want. Well, if there's CC&Rs that says, I don't know, that they can't put their RV behind their fence, it just takes a neighbor, a Karen who doesn't like that, to complain and enforce it. And it is enforceable. So there may not be an HOA, but the neighbors can enforce that on you, and you wouldn't be able to park your, mobile home behind the fence or whatever it might be. So you need to be, wary of that when you are selling a home and reviewing that title report and know what that means. And you need to make sure like that those CC&Rs have been dissolved or something if they are not wanting rules, because no HOA doesn't necessarily mean no CC&Rs. And I'm not sure how many people really know that. So I thought that was a good one to go over and be clear on. All right, we do have a class coming up on lending overlays with Greg Geisler with Apex Home Mortgage on the 14th at 11 via Zoom. So I think this would be a very interesting class because it's definitely some stuff that is a little deeper into the lending side of things that's helpful to understand. And that is our last, I think it's our last class. Yeah, our last class of the year. Let me see. Yeah, so that's our last class of the year. Commercial classes will start up again in January. For those of you who have been with us, you know that we kind of wind things down this time of year a little bit, just because we know how busy everyone is with the holidays and their families and all the activities going on. So that'll be our last class of the year, and commercial classes will start up again in January. And I just wanted to quickly thank you all for your donations for Cultivate Goodness, for feeding families less fortunate. We did pick up all the food and we got it all together, and we drove over and dropped off the donations. And we did, so I believe last year we fed 18 families, and this year with your guys' help, we did feed, I believe it was 26. So we were able to do more dinners and more meals for families in need. So we appreciate all your guys' donations and help in dropping off those meals. So that's exciting. So thank you guys. Here, let me check the chat. Okay. Oh, and also for that bigger 2024, it's going to be held at the Bliss Guild training room. Mara did put it in the chat. So it's right there where our Gilbert office is. It's like upstairs. It's Suite 206. It's just like, it's easy to find. It's pretty easy to find, but it's basically at the Gilbert office, but it's in the Guild training room right next door, basically upstairs. Oh yeah, so sorry, I hadn't changed my screen. So, but again, thank you guys for your generosity for helping us give back to the community and feeding families. Our next service project coming up is going to be December 7th from 1 to 3 at the Astoria AZ Assisted Living and Memory Care. We're going to be playing bingo with them. So dress up in your holiday cheer. Let Mara know if you're going to make it. Please RSVP to her via email. It should be a lot of fun, and they always really enjoy having people come in and getting to see people. So I think it's going to be a good time. So hopefully we'll see you December 7th for that.
Do you have an idea where that is? Oh, Crystal Way in Phoenix. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, it's up like, I believe it's around Deer Valley and 35th Avenue.
Ooh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. And we do have one last happy hour before the end of the year. It's going to be in Glendale at Urban Agave on December 14th from 4 to 6. So we've kind of been spreading them around. We did one in Gilbert in October, I think, or September. I think it was September. And then we just did one in Scottsdale in October. And then we're doing this one in Glendale. So we can kind of spread the love to our agents around the valley. So hopefully we'll see you there. Just so you know, there is no office meeting in December. We just don't do one in December. We know how busy you guys are. So enjoy your activities and your friends and your family. And the next one will be the second Thursday of January. And I'm already to recognition for November. So for November, our November President's Award goes to Wendy Guntner. Wendy's actually in Bullhead City. So she's our only agent out in Bullhead City. And she has really been working her sphere and working on her clients and her task. And she's doing a great job. So we just wanted to recognize her and appreciate all her efforts. So yay, Wendy. And then our November Agent of the Month goes to Pre Powers. Pre has been working really hard. She is doing transactions, and we just wanted to recognize all her efforts. She's been with us now for, gosh, I can't remember exactly, maybe 6 months. And she's just been really turning and burning. So we just wanted to recognize her for that. And that is it for, yeah, that's it. That's all I got.
Congrats, everyone.
Yeah. Does anyone have any questions? Or Mara, do you have anything else I missed? I feel like I went through that quicker than I thought I would because we had a lot to talk about.
No, hopefully we get more info on the buyer commission. I just, we do need to stay informed, but it's not so that you stop working, right? We don't want you in fear. Don't ever market and get caught up in everyone else's chatter. Stay focused, buckle down. As the agents are freaking out and flipping out and letting their licenses go, not paying their dues coming up, this is when you guys need to up your marketing. You need to be out there because they're going to figure out something with the buyer commissions down the road. But we, even at Bliss, our commissions are not set. It's always negotiable. So work with your clients, take non-new clients, and just keep your head up. That's what I can say. So don't let the negativity or all the, you can always get caught up in the hype and the news and the stuff going on, but at the end of the day, there's still life happening out there. People needing to sell, people need to move, death, divorce, people having babies. So just stay focused.
Yeah, and it's nothing that's changing. I mean, even they said that nothing's changing about the way we do business. It's just more about just make sure you're transparent with your clients about how you get paid and whatever, but I wouldn't overly stress about it. I mean, they're going to figure it out, but this is going to go on, like they said, for years anyways, before anything really changes. It's just so, like Mara said, you guys are aware and you know what's going on, but nothing to stress about. I mean, like she said, people still have to buy and sell homes. It's not going to change. So just keep working and putting yourself out there. And like she said, when people do get caught up in it and agents leave the business, that's when you need to be pouring it on even more. So that's
Awesome.
it.
Thanks, Lisa.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate you. Have a wonderful, I do have one more little thing. Just FYI, I will be out of town the week of Thanksgiving. So if you have emergencies, you can reach out to Mara. But other than that, enjoy your Thanksgiving. Have a wonderful
so much.
Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Happy Thanksgiving.
All right. Happy Thanksgiving. And hopefully we'll see you guys soon at the event, at the bigger event. All right.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.